This is the city information window. For new players, the two critical details to look at are the population and the per capita figures. Concerning population, only a limited number of households will be purchasing new vehicles at any given time. The fewer people in the city or a territory, the office is the main hub of the game. You will find most of the data you need to run your company here. This room also acts as a gateway to other rooms in the game. Other rooms contain more in-depth data than presented in the office, as well as additional tools and features. Welcome to the Research and Development Department. You design components and vehicles in this room. It also contains the component modification, discontinuing, and the outsourcing systems. The first component we need to create is the chassis. Speaking in layman terms, the chassis is the main component that holds the vehicle together. Gearcity implements two ways to design components and vehicles: the more detailed Advanced Designer and the lesser detailed Assisted Designer. The Advanced Designer allows you to fine-tune small details through a series of sliders, each slider affecting the design characteristics of the component or vehicle in multiple ways. The Assisted Designer does much of the work for you. You will still need to tell the designer the general focus of the project. Glowing yellow is the specs panel. The maximum supported engine size is the physical dimensions of the largest engine we can use with it. Now you need to design an engine. The procedure is the same as the Chassis Assisted Designer. Click the red glowing Design button in the top panel. Next, click the red glowing Select Engine button, and finally the red glowing Assisted Designer. Make sure that the engine you're designing fits your target chassis. To check if it fits, click on the yellow glowing Chassis button and select your chassis. Select Sedan from the target vehicle type drop-down in the Engine Designer. Once you have done this, design your engine. Like the chassis, try to make the overall rating 2 stars. When you have completed the design, click the red glowing Design It button. The last component you need to design is the gearbox. To do this, follow the same steps you used to make the chassis and engine. Please select red glowing design button. Make sure that the gearbox you're designing can handle your target engine torque. To check if it works, click on the yellow glowing Select Engine button and select your target engine. Select Sedan from the target vehicle type drop-down in the Gearbox Designer. Once you have done this, design your gearbox. Like the engine, try to make the overall rating 2 stars. When you have completed the design, click the red glowing Design It button. Now that you've created the 3 components, you need to return to the office and end the turn. Designing new components take a long time in real life. The same is true in the game. A number of months must pass before the components are completed. The side panel contains a list of your projects under research. It also contains another list of all your factories under construction, and finally, a list of your recent actions. This is the End Turn window. This window allows you to skip more than one turn at a time. Enter the number of turns found in the side panel. This should allow enough time for the engineers to finish the component designs. Click the red glowing Yes button to continue. Check if the engineers have finished the designs in the side panel. If any components are in the researching list, you need to skip more turns. Click the clock and enter the number of turns remaining. Completed designs will not show up in the researching. Check if the engineers have finished the designs in the side panel. If any components are in the researching list, it is now time for you to develop your first vehicle. Designing vehicles is similar to the design of components. However, you must also design the vehicle body. You start the same way as you designed the components. Click the red glowing Design button. The Assisted Vehicle Designer works like the other assisted designers, but it requires extra steps to complete the design. First, you will want to select the vehicle type. There are 2 ways to create a car body. To save time, use the pre-designed vehicles. Click the red glowing Pre-designed button. On the left side is a list of pre-designed vehicles. Choose which vehicle you want from the list, then click the red glowing Select button. With the body design, the Assisted Designer will now generate vehicle rating and specs. Adjusting the sliders in the Assisted Designer will also alter the ratings. Go ahead and adjust the sliders of your first design. A tip for new players: try to keep unit costs low until you get a feel for the game. An average vehicle is about 2 stars or 30 out of 100 points. If you have completed your design, click the red glowing Design It button to finish the design. The vehicle is now ready for development. You will need to skip some months for it to be completed. Return to the office by clicking the red glowing Office button. You must skip a certain number of turns until the vehicle is finished development. Go ahead and click the clock and enter the number of turns you wish to skip. If you forget the amount, check the side panel. Check the side panel. Is the vehicle still being researched? If development has finished, click the yellow glowing globe on the desk to go to the world map. If the vehicle needs more time, skip the amount of turns required. Welcome to the World Map. The World Map allows you to manage, maintain, create, and destroy factories and branches. It's also where you find the marketing systems and where you manage manufacturing and distribution of vehicles. The World Map also contains visual data maps for cities and your competition. This room plays a vital role running a company. Most features implemented in the World Map can be done in the Office mega menu. However, the World Map gives a better visual representation and is easier to use. As a new player, you should use the World Map until you get a feel for the game. The first thing you need to do is set up manufacturing of your vehicle. This is the city information window you learned about at the start of the game. This time, extra buttons for your facilities in the city are at the bottom. This is the factory overview window. You control anything factory related from here. This window handles the production of vehicles. It allows you to assign production lines and adjust the production speed of the vehicles. You also get a summary of vehicles' production and some extra data in the side panel. The yellow glowing production line slider allows you to assign production lines to the selected vehicle. Factories have a limited number of production lines, so assign them wisely. The green glowing production speed slider allows you to adjust the production team's focus on quality or quantity. Better quality vehicles are more desirable and improve your image. Focusing on higher quantities means you will produce more units per factory line, thus lowering the total cost per unit. Click your vehicle from the list and assign it to one production line. Be sure that the production speed slider is set to half. When you have done this, click the red glowing Assign button to save the changes. You have successfully assigned the vehicle to production. Now you need to make the vehicle available for sale. Close the Production Manager and Factory Overview windows, then click the red glowing Branch button from the City Information window. This is the Branch Overview window. This is the Distribution window. It's here you set the sales prices for your vehicles. The upper list is the vehicle models you have available to sell. This also includes how much you are selling the models for and the number of vehicles you sold in the previous month. Selecting a vehicle will give you have successfully assigned a sales price to your vehicle. Return to the office by clicking the red glowing Office button. Welcome back to the office. You have designed the three major components, designed a vehicle, assigned that vehicle to production, and set the sales price as a branch.
Depending on what type of company you are trying to run, racing can be an important expenditure or a colossal waste of money. Racing raises the prestige of your company. Racing is expensive. You should not attempt to run in a racing series until you have a healthy and profitable business. That is not to say that you can't run races before then. It is just difficult to do so. If you're running a company that produces sports cars, it's a wise investment to fund some racing teams. It is also a smart idea to create designs that can cover multiple events. You do not have to invest in every series. If you're running a mass production company, racing expenses are probably not worth your efforts. Vehicles without high performance importance ratings gain very little from this type of marketing. It would be wiser for companies like this to invest the funding into marketing or expansion rather than racing.